Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Oh, since we're getting started, can we take a picture, please? Okay. All right. One, two, three, cheese. Okay. One more. Cheese. Thank you. Okay. Um, Super nice to see all of you. Okay, here we go. Okay. So, um, great to see everyone. Happy September. The month is flying by. Um, so similar to last month, uh, we have a rather short agenda, so we can really spend the time just talking with one another and also getting to the fact sheet that we talked about at our last meeting. So we'll say more about that and then closing statements. So a really simple, a really simple day today. So
Excuse me, Eliana, Ellie, sorry to bug you. By any chance, did you get that email that I sent the other day related to William and myself?
I just read it, yeah.
Okay.
Um, we can talk about that a little later, but the option, well, we can talk about that a little later. Um, okay, so we're gonna start with our professional updates. Um, this we had a we had some great conversations last time with just stemming from our professional updates. So we wanted to give everyone the opportunity to do that again. So please share something that you're working on that the coalition members might be most interested in. And then you're probably working on a lot of things. I know I am. So try to hone in on something specific that you're working on that, yeah, that coalition members would be most interested in. So I'll go first. My name's Eliana. I'm the language and program coordinator with SCOCO. One of the many hats I wear um, is as the advisor to our youth-led branch, Sustainable Leaders in Action. We have a really cool program coming up called the Climate Careers Chats. And one of our panelists, or actually two of both panelists are coalition members. So that's really exciting. The theme of this one is environmental resources. So this is a program that our youth team works on where they bring people in from green careers and just talk about their journey to get there. So I'm looking forward to that. Um, and then uh, stopping the time on my professional update, I have an update from a previous speaker from our lightning talks, Natasha Farmer. She works with Public Works in Pittsburgh. She previously gave a lightning talk to us about the city's urban forest master plan. And the update is they have a tree planting event coming up in October on the 19th. So I'll send you all information about that, but that was a cool update that came in as well. Um, so I'm going to call on people for a round robin. Um, Lou, if it's okay with you and William, I'll leave you guys till the end if you want to talk about it then. So you can combine your couple minutes, and then in the future, if you want to talk about it more at length, we can do a lightning talk next one. So just keeping that in mind. Okay, so Olivia, how are you doing?
I am good. Hi, everybody. If I haven't met you guys before, my name's Olivia Talley. I work for the city of Antioch in the Environmental Resources Division. I was previously a Civic Spark Fellow, but that fellowship is over, so now I'm just with Antioch. And something we are still working on is getting the Climate Action Resilience Plan update done. So I'm super excited that the draft is done. And that is we're sending out the list of actions, the potential actions chart out for public review. So I might drop a link in the chat to the PDF with the actions, and there's a short survey. Just let us know if there's anything missing, anything you'd like to see, if your organization would like to work on any of this. Our Climate Action Resilience Plan can receive CDBG funding. So if organizations want to do an action in the climate plan, they could get funding from the federal government because they're working on something in the plan. So we're super excited about that, and we're hoping to take that to council in October. So
Great.
that is the update from Antioch.
Awesome. And so I'm sure everyone's kind of just going to be mentioning resources. If you want to send that to the coalition email, I can put it in the chat because I definitely want to encourage everyone to start using it more. Okay, so let's see. Monica, how are you doing?
Hey everyone, I'm doing really good. The week's really flying by. So I am the owner and founder of my business, Body Wellness. So it's just me. It's a really small business, and my goal and mission really is to help increase healthcare access and equity within the communities. I notice that's just been a really big problem. In my practice personally, I help people reduce muscle and joint pain through manual therapy treatments, a lot of culturally competent care. I am bilingual. So a lot of the projects and things that I work on are really at like a super small level, but recently I partnered with this nonprofit organization called La Concordia. They're located in Concord, and their main objective is to also help increase access and equity, but to mental health services. So they usually provide traditional therapy services in English and Spanish on a donation basis. So it's really affordable. So I partnered with them to be able to offer some of my services, such as acupressure and cupping, to also at a donation basis. So that's what's been really cool. We're kind of trying to grow it. I'm only there 8 hours a week, so it's really not that much like that I'm able to see clients, but it's a start. So that's kind of what I've been working on and doing.
Awesome. That sounds so cool. Please email us more information to the listserv. Okay. Danny, how about you?
Thank you. Danny Lanis, Advocacy Manager at Bike East Bay. Bike East Bay is a nonprofit organization that's headquartered in Oakland, Jack London Square. We are right now working, and I am particularly working on a project in East Contra Costa, Antioch, Pittsburgh, Concord, mainly those areas, but all and everything in between. It's called the Green Mobility Ambassadors Program. I'm dropping the link in the chat. This Green Mobility Ambassadors Program is a program that we developed for our local partners. These trainings prepare individuals to engage in their own advocacy and education on transportation and accessibility projects and programs. The public process for transportation infrastructure projects, plans, and policies can seem complex and daunting. And via this program, participants gain information and strategies to navigate this process to be effective advocates. In addition to the different classes and trainings that we provide, we will be offering a full paid ride to a certification called the League of by the League of American Bicyclists, called League Certified Instructor. So those who join can become a League Certified Instructor. What this does is it gives the person that graduates a certificate where you can professionally start teaching people how to ride a bicycle, but also mainly get $1 million to $2 million insurance, and that way all the liability is covered. And then after that, you can gain employment with any organization nationwide that wants to employ you to teach people how to ride a bike, including Bike East Bay. We have one of the best bicycle education programs in the country, and we cover Alameda and Contra Costa counties. We're hoping that we will find bilingual folks from Antioch, Pittsburgh, Concord that will be joining and graduating from this program. Our next, our first training of the series is called Bike Civics, all about bikeways, and it's coming up next Wednesday, 6 p.m. online.
That sounds so cool. I'm the advisor to our youth team, so I'd love to chat with you about this and spread the word. Is this program for a specific age group? Oh,
Everyone,
okay. Oh, that's great.
the main restriction, if there is one, we're not strict, but the main thing is that it's Contra Costa focused.
Nice. Thank you.
You're all welcome.
Lauren, how about you?
Hey everybody, happy afternoon. I am Lauren Weston, Executive Director of Actera Action for a Healthy Planet. We've been working in Contra Costa I've been at Actera 5.5 years, so at least that long, probably preceding me too. We've worked very heavily in Pittsburgh with electrified school districts via busing, solar, and our Business Environmental Awards has done some programming with Contra Costa County-based businesses, highlighting sustainability efforts in the East Bay. And right now we're working through the James Cary Smith program to do transportation assessments in Pittsburgh and other parts of AB 617 communities in the region, but largely in the Contra Costa communities. And we've now in our third year of doing that, we've had a wonderful outpouring of information coming from our assessments and our community convenings. We do community dinners where we bring folks together to discuss transportation needs and break bread together, which is, of course, a wonderful way to build community. And that is what we're currently doing. And we're right now building out a project to do more air quality work, which is something that we've been doing in San Jose and other communities in the South Bay, working on a transportation RFP to deal with the flow of traffic, which will be a continuation of our James Cary Smith programming. We have not been awarded, but we're working on it right now, and fingers crossed, because that would be a wonderful version 2 of our James Cary Smith work. Thank you.
That's so cool. Good luck on that
Thank you.
proposal. Okay. Allie, how about you?
Hi, everybody. I'm Allie. I'm the director of Healthy and Active Before 5. We work countywide, but we're based in Concord, and I don't have anything climate and air quality related per se, but we are hosting a convening virtually on Friday, October 11th. We're bringing together our leadership council of different organizations, mostly service providers, but anyone's welcome. And we're focusing on the November election. We're going to have some presentations about all of the different ballot measures and how they relate to our main focus, which is children's health. So I will put the link in the chat, and anyone who'd like to attend is welcome to register. Thank you.
Thank you, Allie. Jody?
Hi, everybody. I'm Jody London. I'm the Sustainability Coordinator for Contra Costa County, and I'm thrilled to see so many of you here. Danny, I was super interested in that, the Mobility Ambassador Program. In fact, I just sent a note to the person who puts together our sustainability newsletter. We're getting ready to put out our next quarterly issue. I'm like, we need to include this. This is amazing. I'm not exactly sure of the prompt because I was a couple minutes late, but it's probably talking about what's a project you've been working on. And we have been working for years on an update to the county's general plan and climate action and adaptation plan. And yesterday, we went to our board of supervisors to say, here's your final chance to give us input before you approve it. And they were like, it looks great, bring it back, come on. So we're very excited, and of particular interest to this group, the new general plan and CAP have 4 themes that run throughout them, including environmental justice, sustainability, health, and economic development. it's a huge change if you follow land use issues at all from the old general plan is 30 years old. So it's really, it'll take a little bit of time for it all to sink in, but it's a huge, huge shift for Contra Costa County, one we think is really important. And there's a lot in there about active transportation and making it easier for folks to get around without driving. So look for more on that. We're very excited. And I am apologizing in advance that I'm going to have to sign off at 1:30, but I am always very supportive of this group and thrilled to meet you all.
Congratulations and thank you for joining us. You said the 4 themes of the CAP were environmental justice, sustainability, health, and economics.
Oh, I'll put some links in the chat to our website and what the themes are.
Great, thank you. Oh, Cam, do you want to share?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Cam Foley. I'm currently in Alameda. I'm a grant writer for SCILCO right now and just also finished a Civic Spark Fellowship, and I'm looking for a full-time position now. I just interviewed for our city forest in San Jose, which I'm really excited about. So I'm going to be one of the presenters for the SLIA Green Career Chats. And also Cicely and I are looking into a community air grant that is due in November. So we'll keep you guys updated on if we have a project for that. Hopefully we will in the next few weeks.
Thank you, Cam. Thanks for being one of our panelists. Our team is really excited. Karen, would you like to give an update? Oh, sorry. For those of you who joined after we said what it was, the professional updates are something that you're working on that is of interest to the coalition, to you, and things you want to share. Karen, do you want to give an update? Okay. In the meantime,
Sorry about that. Hi, everybody. This is Karen McBride with Bay Area Community Resources. The only updates we have is that we're still providing services every week at the West Pittsburgh Community Church in Bay Point. If anyone's interested in doing any type of campaigning or tabling, for any of the causes that we talk about during these meetings, please feel free to get back to me. And I'll be more than happy to, set you up with a table. We're usually there on Tuesdays from 10 in the morning until 12 or until food runs out. And this is a great way for everyone to, get to see what other needs are in Bay Point. Yeah, thank you.
Karen, could you share your email or contact information in the chat?
Sure, let me do that right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Kiara, would you like to share?
Yes, trying to get my camera on. Hi, everyone. I'm Kiara with MCE. Major projects working on community development manager, by the way. Still the Charged by Public Power survey, outreach, and focus group interests, where we have 9 priority communities we're focusing on that are considered disadvantaged communities. I want to say about 6 of them are here in Contra Costa. So I'll share the link in the chat. We are still doing outreach for the survey and focus group interest. Would love to see more numbers circle in for the unincorporated Contra Costa areas, specifically like Bay Point and those areas. The other major project I'm working on right now is MC's Community Power Coalition. We have some quarterly meetings, and this is available for community-based organizations and other community stakeholders to join. We have various topics throughout the year. The upcoming Community Power Coalition will be September 25th and will be about Spanish language and language accessibility at MCE. So just sharing that with anyone who's interested, feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiara. Are those recorded? They are, right?
They are recorded. The second link I added there, you can actually have access to both the recordings and presentations on the various energy related topics.
Great, thank you. The Community Power Coalition is definitely really cool. I look forward to those meetings. Okay. All right. So William and Lou, you have the floor until 1:26.
Should we go individually and then collectively?
If you want to introduce yourselves first, and then you can jump into it.
Okay. My name is William Goodwin. I'm a member of the Resident Empowerment Program with Hope Solutions. We advocate for the retention and creation of affordable housing. And we've been working on all things housing, but particularly trying to pass a proposition, Prop 5, which reduces the threshold for bonds, not just housing bonds, but all local, state, regional bonds. So it doesn't have to be 2/3 of the voter population to pass a bond, 55%. And there's a lot of bonds that have been tried, that we've tried to pass in our county that was like 62%, but not the 2/3 that requires. And so they just went by the wayside. So we're working on that. We're also doing a lot of voter registration workshops, but I'm also a member of the Bay Area Air Quality Management District's Community Advisory Council. And, BACMed is doing a bunch of long-term things like rule changes that will swap out appliances that are, gas or whatever, and make everything electrified. That's going on, but I'm also on an ad hoc committee where we're managing a community benefits fund, and we're trying to make it a participatory budgeting process so that the community can vote on different grants and different projects. And so I'll let Lou say what's going on with him individually, and then we'll talk about what we did collectively.
Thank you, William. So a few things. First of all, there was a chlorine release in Pittsburgh on September 2nd, which I didn't know about until after the fact. And then I had been driving around in the city of Pittsburgh. I have, if I could share, I don't have to, but if you want me, I could share a map of what the area was that was affected, so to speak. And that was kind of interesting. There's an electrification fair this coming Saturday. 350 Contra Costa Action is a group I'm working with, and it's in Walnut Creek. And I think what I'll start doing is as the meeting goes on, I'll try to put these links in the chat. So if people are interested, it's in Walnut Creek between 12 and 4 at the Calicraft Brewing Company, 2700 Mitchell Drive, Walnut Creek. On Wednesday, September 25th, from 11 to 12 Pacific Standard Time, there's a webinar. When I did that thing, the 10-minute, I forget what you call those things, Ellie, but there was one of the websites that I shared was the Toxic Release Inventory Program, TRI, and they have a webinar on the 25th. It's like a training. They're kind of explaining stuff related to their website, kind of a thing. And then I'm also working with CACTI, Communities Against Carbon Transport and Injection. And I think I've mentioned this before, but there's a project proposed. It's called the Montezuma Project, which is carbon capture in Antioch and Pittsburgh, which is the initial phase 1. And then phase 2 goes all the way to the refineries in Martinez and Richmond. For those that are interested, you can talk to me or contact me if you need education about, or if you already have, you could share your information about carbon capture and storage, which is kind of a big thing in the news right now for different reasons, kind of a thing. And that's about it, I think, I hope.
Thank you.
Thank you.
William, did you want to say a little bit about
no.
it? You did.
Well, yeah, I just want to mention that Lou and I, he shared some information with which he shared at the last meeting because I missed the last meeting. And in our conversation, we were looking at one of the maps of air monitoring systems in Contra Costa County. And we noticed that in East County, there's like vastly hardly any air monitoring stations. And we began talking about, well, what do we have to do to get East County kind of on the map, literally? And so we started talking about how East County can become a AB 617 designated community. And AB 617 is a bill that was designed to reduce air pollution in environmental justice communities. And we know East County is an environmental justice community. And so we starting to look at how that process, how we can put that process into place, because if we are designated, and we've been on the nominated list as an AB 617 community for like 6 years. If we become an AB 617 community, they'll provide us with implementation funds, which is funds from CARB and the Air District for emission reduction projects, technical assistance grants. We'll also get air grant programs, which will support community-based organizations who are doing work in EJ work. And yeah, so we're just at the beginning stage. We just had a conversation. I reached out to BACMed to try to find out what are the steps. I realized that now they have a blueprint for becoming an AB 617 community. And I have a bunch of links that will explain the process, and I will send that to the coalition's email. And you can look at it at your own time and just see how intense it is, but the benefits that it will bring to East County. West County has already been designated Richmond, San Pablo, an AB 617 community. And so, yeah, we should be one too. I mean, we have a lot of health effects, I'm sure, from downwind, pollution that comes from the refineries and wildfires. So anyway, Lou and I have begun that process, and maybe we will do a lightning round. We'll have some more information to share, but that's what we're starting.
Awesome. Thank
Lou,
you.
if you had anything to add, or go for it.
It was kind of neat. We literally speaking, it wasn't a Zoom call. I sat down with William. William sat down with me at a Starbucks. So I almost feel like that's kind of maybe direct. I don't know where people are at, or all that kind of stuff. But somehow
we have 2 more intros to do if we could keep this moving a little bit. But
okay,
you are
well, I'll
welcome.
say to just, if there's a way that we can work together. That's all. Thank you very much, Ellie.
Thank you. Sorry, Lou. I feel so
no,
bad.
hey, life is life. No worries.
Thank you. Sarah, would you like to go?
Yeah, thanks so much. I'm Sarah Romano. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you. The prospect of East County getting that designation is so exciting. So I'm just so happy to hear that you both are working on getting that ball rolling, and look forward to hearing how we can all help with that. So I thought I would take a moment to just say a little bit more about who I am, because I don't think I've shared much about my background with the group. So I'm a former professor. I've mentioned that. I'm a consultant. I'm working with Sustainable Contra Costa, which is the reason I've come into these spaces. But one of the main links for me to this world is my research has always been environmental and climate justice focused. So a lot of my work has been in Nicaragua, Central America, looking at rural community-based water management, and that just inherently has entailed a lot of attention to climate impacts, because it's a region that's very vulnerable to the impacts of climate change, and has always been a region that's very subject to really severe droughts and other forms of impacts on water sources that affect accessibility, and including water quality. So I've done a lot of work there. And then I've also done a lot of climate related work as a 350 board member and team leader in Colorado. So I've been a faculty member, but that's always been paired with grassroots organizing and advocacy, and very much being in the world of like trying to have some on the ground policy changes, resource development changes. So in Colorado, in contrast to, you know, right where we are in the Bay Area in California, and I'm in Moraga, I didn't say that, a big focus was hydraulic fracturing. So we put a lot of attention on trying to understand the impacts of a lot of fracking in urban areas. And it's a huge environmental and social justice issue. So living in that place, that came on my radar, and worked on that as well. I think the only other thing I wanted to share was just something that I'm doing that's coming up that I think would interest this group as well. Common Spark Consulting has Energy and Equity series. I don't know if anyone has heard of this. I'll put a link in the chat, but they're having one of their energy inequity workshops is on the HEMAS principles of democratic organizing, which is really out of environmental justice organizing and work. You know, what are the principles we should embrace to work across difference, paying particular attention to power dynamics and differentials, and how to work in partnership in ethical and just ways. So I'm really excited about that workshop coming up in early October, but a lot of the pieces of that series I think would interest this group, because it's about energy and climate issues and really trying to center justice and equity. So I'll put that in the chat. But thanks so much. Lovely as always to be here with you all. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to go to the electrification fair on Saturday. So I hope to.
Yeah, they're really looking forward to having as many people as possible. They're working really hard to help out.
Awesome. Okay, we had Danae and Edith jump in. Welcome to you both. We are giving professional updates. So if you could say your name, position, organization, and where you're located, and then something you're working on that is of interest to the Clean Air Coalition, or that might be.
I can go first. Hi, sorry, I'm working in a new space right now, so it's a little bit wonky. And I realized that my microphone was on and my dogs were probably barking, so I'm so sorry. What are we doing? So my name is Danae Romero. I am the analyst for environmental services at the city of Pittsburgh. Right now, we are actually working to delegate our sustainability plan goals and measurements throughout the city departments. And we're working on a dashboard so we can see the progress in those, the public facing dashboard to see the progress on those goals. So I've been really heavy into that lately. Yeah, that's about it.
That's super cool.
I was a little bit tardy. I was coming from another meeting.
You're good. It's like just such a busy time of the year. Thank you for coming. Edith, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sorry, I don't know if it was just me, but you kind of broke out there. It might be just me.
Oh, okay. Edith is Edith Arevalo, community health educator at La Clínica de la Raza, working with Hispanic people. Nice. If your microphone does begin to work again and you would like to say more, you're welcome to. Thank you for joining us. All right, everyone. So it was so great to hear from you all and all the things that you're working on. It's really nice to see just like the shared interest here and the natural interest with everyone. So I'm really glad that we, get to convene. All right. So for those of you, well, just a recap of the last meeting, one of the things that we wanted to do was create fact sheets about air quality so that this can be a resource for the broader coalition community. So, right, all of us coalition members and all of our communities from there. We want them to be specific to East County so that, this really is a resource made with East County and just the different things of living in East County in mind. So our first topic for this was, how does poor air quality affect children? So, I just had the link. Okay, so this is our draft presentation or draft fact sheet. I am putting the link in the chat. You're all welcome to look at it on your own screen. I'm gonna screen share just because this meeting is being recorded, and this way we can look back and see what people's feedback are on like specific parts as we're talking about it. Let's see. This is definitely a first draft of this, so whatever feedback you're thinking of, just thinking of things like format, readability. Is this information interesting? Is there something that should be here that maybe isn't? Is any of this information redundant? Very, very interested to hear your feedback. So with that in mind, let's maybe look at this for like a minute or two, just so you all can get acquainted with it, and then we will talk about like feedback after. Did the link work for you? Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, let's see also a show of a thumbs up or a thumbs to the middle or thumbs down. Do you need more time? Do you feel like you've read it, you're good to continue? More time? More time. Right. Okay. Thanks everyone. And then in the meantime, we'll still be looking at it. Okay. All right. Who would like to get us started? What are some things that you're observing as you see this, or what are some things that you're thinking?
I really liked just like how thorough it was. Like you kind of start from just like providing education and then to explaining like what causes it, and then some like helpful tips, and then like actionable, like how to check the air quality. So that way it's like accessible, people know how to do it. Cause I think that's like usually the hardest thing of usually people will get information, but there's not ever additional information of how to like actually implement it or like what they can do about it. And I particularly liked the note in like that first top left box where it says that children are especially vulnerable to polluted air because they participate in more organized outdoor activities, and then adding like just like the asterisk of like this is actually a benefit, like don't stop doing this, but just like considering what some of like the cons, I guess. So I really liked it.
Go ahead. Sorry, that was kind of vague. Allie, I saw you unmute, and then William, if you want to go after.
Thanks, Eliana. I think this is great. I obviously appreciate the focus of this one. My first thought is it's a lot of words, and I know we're balancing wanting to share good information, but I wonder if some of this could be, if we could have a website somewhere that's like learn more, because it's just, you don't want it to be overwhelming for people and then not have them read it. Another thought, there might be ways to condense or move some things around. And then my other thought is we might want to specify somewhere that this is talking about outdoor air quality, since indoor air quality is also a concern, but we can't cover everything in one sheet. So maybe if there's a place to specify that. And then, yeah, I think it's really good. I love having the QR codes. I wonder if there's a way to format it so it's kind of like step 1, like know where it's coming from with the box on the right. Step 2, check your air quality with the QR codes. And step 3, do modify your behavior if the air is bad, just so it kind of flows so people know like where it's heading. And then I think the box on the top left is probably where we could reduce more. But again, I don't want to take away too much good information from people, but if we want to cut down on the words, that's what I'd suggest.
That's such great feedback. So to recap, step 1 was like knowing where it's coming from. Step 2 was how to find your air quality.
Yeah.
Right. So the QR code, and then step 3 was the tips.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. That's such good feedback. Okay. William?
Yeah, I agree with all of that. And I guess I was looking for one bullet about the health effects on unborn children. Like poor air quality on birth defects. I'm pretty sure there's something on that. Just maybe a bullet to that effect as well.
Thank you. That's such a good, right? They're children. Nice. Okay. Thank you. What do other people think? Go ahead.
Was that me?
Yeah.
I've been on Zoom so many times and I could not find the hand raise function just now. I'm like scanning, it's nowhere. So thank you. I also agree with everything that everyone has said so far. So just a few things I'm wondering in relation to Allie's comment and William's, because there's so much more specific data that if we can find it, it would be great to have on here. And I love the idea of including something about pregnancy and unborn children. Would a 2-page handout like this, presuming that this is the kind of thing that people could print out and have at events, would people read a 2-page flyer? Because the first 2 boxes then could be, done horizontally instead, one on top of each other. The font could be bigger. It wouldn't look quite so wordy and text heavy. Maybe it's still cut down, but then the action piece could be on the back. It's just one idea, but I think the group should kind of weigh in, since we're also having a discussion about, or want to be thinking about, intended audience and what's going to be most accessible and useful. So just one thought, would this become a 2-page one? Just had a quick question about, are there any organizations missing from representation on the bottom? Like MC isn't there, like Monica,
Yes.
I don't know if yours is there.
Sorry, go ahead.
And then I think the other question that I just have generally is, oh, well, 2 things. One's a comment first. If there's any way to fit it in as part of the framing, I love introducing the idea that like air quality is so damaging, but it's one of the problems that can be invisible. And we don't necessarily think of it because of that. You can go out for a walk on a day and have no idea that the air is damaging your health. So I don't know, just if there's phrasing around that. But I think for the group, I'm so curious, what are the sources of more East Contra Costa County specific data? And how can we source those as a group? Is there available anything else that's really specific around, trips to the ER for asthma in East County? Do we know how many of those individuals are under the age of 18? Things like that, just to make this really tailored to residents. Thank you. But I think it looks awesome.
Thank you. We'll go with Lou and then Kiara, but let me just read some of the things from the chat really quickly. So mentioning, supporting active transportation policies, adding pregnant people and children and seniors. Edith's comment kind of builds off of Cam's, where not only you're adding supporting active transportation policies, but also promoting the importance of contributing, recycling, planting, rejecting. taking into the account that this is part of a culture we can help establish. I totally agree. And wildfires, yeah. Awesome. So thank you. This is great feedback. Lou, go ahead.
Thank you. And I agree with everything that everyone's saying. When I first saw it, it's really nice, the colors and stuff, and then the red car, the industry, and then the coalition down at the bottom and everything else. That's really neat. I was just thinking, I went to the website that you have there for the Air Now kind of a thing. My understanding, I could be wrong on this, is that measures PM 2.5. So I think it's only one indicator as far as good air, bad air kind of a thing. The websites that I shared the other day, and I don't know how detailed you want to get, but the EJ screen from the EPA and the Cal Enviro screen, they give a lot more information about different sorts of things. And then the other thing too is that the only reason I knew that there was that chlorine release on Monday was because there's some sort of thing, and I'll have to find out how I joined it, but the County of Contra Costa, they send out things to your phone if there's some sort of like explosion or refinery or something like that. They actually, the one that I got, it shows a map of the area that's affected. So it's very sort of like time centered. So that would be good to know for families if they're out at a picnic or something like that, or a soccer game.
Thank you. Lou, that's really great. That's the alert system for hazardous materials. And we've talked about, nice, just making connections between things that we like get to work on. Okay, Kiara.
It looks really great. I know it's so hard to get so much information and the balance of all that. But the one thing that caught my eye is in the first of those 4 boxes. I think in the center, it has the information that 19% of adults have asthma. Wondering if to edit or that to do children instead, since that box is talking about children. If there's a statistic for that. And then, yeah, from the renewable energy lens, of course, agree with someone mentioned the wildfires for air quality. And then, yeah, if there's ever an opportunity for like more resources, like linking somewhere, of course, someone mentioned like indoor air quality. So like adoption of any kind of like electric appliances, and of course, EV and renewable energy sources. But it's a lot, I know.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Okay, so I have some questions for you all, based on just having made this. So the first question is, for all of you that do English and Spanish collateral, do you feel like it's more effective to have a one-pager that's double-sided translated? Because that's kind of my default, versus like a two-pager in either language. What do you all think?
I think it depends on what is really like the goal. If the goal is to really provide like a lot of education, in addition to like what they can do, I think it would make sense to have like the one language be 2 sheets. That way, like Ali had mentioned, it's just like less kind of like cluttery looking, where people are more encouraged to actually read it. Or if it is just going to be kind of like a little bit less education and more focusing just on the action, then I think just one side would make sense.
Thank you. That's super helpful. What else do you all think?
I would have to agree with that. I just visually, I'm such a visual person, so if I see too much of like text and it's not easy for me to read, then I just won't read it at all, unfortunately. And so I think having 2 separate sheets of 2 different languages, I think that will better communicate to those who are interested in reading.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, yeah. So I definitely think you all make very compelling points. So this is being made so that it can also be made in Spanish. So it's really just finding the most effective way to share this. Last thing, so logos. I have seen some like coalitions that they have all of the logos. Would it make sense to have the coalition or the logos of all of our members? Yes, right? Like that's how that works. I'm wondering. Because, right, for those of you who work for bigger companies, for example, like MCE, like, does that have to go through like a fact checking? Does it have to be okayed? Like,
No, feel free to include it.
okay, awesome. All right, in that case, that'll be one of the revisions. Are there any final comments? Thank you all for your feedback. This was so great. I think for the next meeting, between now and then, so for the next meeting, we can present the second draft. And then in the meantime, if you all want to send in some of your feedback, so like you had said, you know, like, Edith, you had said adding more about the importance of contributing, so like the behavioral changes, and then mentioning active transportation, things like that. So if you want to send that over, that would be great. And then, so Clean Air Day is coming up in October. You may remember that we presented on this a couple months ago, but Sustainable Contra Costa is doing a Clean Air Day event in Pittsburgh on the 27th. If anyone would like to join us, we're going to be doing a kids activity that will have to do with air quality, but basically using bubbles to kind of see how, you know, like how pollution works and how air is affected by that, or air affects it. And then, yeah, if anyone is interested, it'll be from 6 to 8. It'll be a riot. Lou, final comment?
Oh, I was just going to second the motion of Spanish speaking because from what I understand of all the data that I've seen, Spanish speakers, it's a tremendous population here in East County.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, Ali, so Ali mentioned in terms of broad distribution, having a bilingual page is best because then, right, you may use more English ones or not have enough Spanish ones, but yeah, that's a really good point. Great. Does anybody have any final comments? Thank you so much for coming today. It's always so nice to see you all. Yes.
I'll make a little one. I was thinking at first, like, yeah, 2 pages and then have 2 different translated versions, but now I'm totally sold. Like having a flip side, both languages makes sense. So anyway, it seems to me like this could almost be 2, and that might be one way to kind of address some of the space issues. There could be one that is about air quality and contributors to pollution in East County, and another one focused on the impacts on children. And a question, so that's an idea, and a question I have for the group is, what if there are a fact sheet like this focused on indoor? For families, you know, focused on families. Would that be of interest?
Thank you, Sarah. Yes, I definitely think a good one to come up would be indoor air quality. And these fact sheets essentially could be just like a series of great information that are, you know, just like handing this information out so that our community members can know a little more about it. And yeah, this has been so great. Thank you all for your feedback. It's wonderful. Well, to have other sets of eyes look at something, but also just to hear from you all. Yeah, thank you so much for coming. If there isn't anything else, you're all good to go.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Seeing everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.